Trevor Hendy, Shannon Eckstein, Ali Day. They're all names synonymous with Ironman racing. And now Redhead's Dan Collins is among them, today etching his name into the history books at the Australian Surf Lifesaving Titles.
It's one of the most coveted titles in Ironman racing, and Redhead's Dan Collins is now the man.
The biggest win of his career and one of the biggest upsets you'll see. No man has ever deserved it more.
The Newcastle lifeguard outperforming a star-studded field in unrelenting conditions on the Sunshine Coast. Collins holding on in the starting ski leg, but it was a move in the board that saw him take the express route out to the Cairns.
Far right edge, the green board, that's Dan Collins getting a real run out there. The whitewater's just a little bit smaller and he's going past a few.
Moving his way into the top three as he powered into the last and his strongest leg. First to reach the Cairns, all he had to do was put his head down.
Here it is for Collins. He gets it. He gets it.
Riding that winning wave all the way to the sand and enjoying the final metres before he was crowned an Aussie champion. A moment full of emotion for the Ironman and his Hunter Club.
To be completely honest, I don't really feel like it's real just yet. Obviously, I had a really good semi and took that one out. So to take this final out, I don't know. It hasn't really sunk in yet.
Collins not only battling the swell, but has also been fighting off the flu all week.
The result's always been there. It's just been about executing that perfect race, and I'm super stoked to have done it today and put it all together for an Aussie title.
Montana Clare, NBN News.
Coffs Harbour board riders Luca Martin and Jarrah White have progressed through to the quarter-final stage of the Grom Search Oz Cup, both topping their heats while battling tricky conditions.
It was all in his plan. Luca Martin scoring a 5.17 just minutes into the heat.
Just get a quick first wave and then maybe paddle down the beach a bit and sit on my own and try and get a back up.
Facing stiff competition, with Narrabeen's Liam Gason posting a 5.83 for this wave.
A bit wobbly, but really a few nice ones coming through, so it was heaps of fun.
The Coffs local using his home break advantage to take out his heat by just 0.34.
I definitely reckon it gives me an advantage, so I know where to sit and stuff.
Both through to the quarterfinals tomorrow.
I'm feeling good, I'm ready to surf, just got my mentality right, listen to some music to warm up.
Groms were met with onshore and choppy conditions at Diggers Beach on day 2 of the 5-day competition.
So out there today is the under-16s, under-14s and under-12s, and they're all having a great time.
Tomorrow sees most of the age divisions compete for a place in the semis.
It'll be exciting, that's where it gets really down to the nitty-gritty and every point counts. These kids are all fighting for some points. This is a 6,500 pointed event, so the further they can get, the better they can improve their rankings.
Alison Paul, NBN News.
In round 3 of the Northern Rivers Rugby League, Byron Bay have demolished the Magpies on their home turf in Yamba. Meanwhile, the Mustangs charged down the Bombers 22 points to 8.
Lining the field at Yamba Sporting Complex, a battle brewed between the Magpies and Red Devils. At the 7-minute mark, the visitors found the corner, putting the first points on the board. But the Magpies' Ty Eamons-Gardner retaliated with a dive over the line. The score level at 6 apiece. The Devils' Jack Rogers slipped through the cracks of the home side's defence. The red jerseys' momentum forged ahead to soon up their haul to 16. But the lightning speed of Magpies' Kyron Heron sent the crowd roaring and boosted their takings into double digits. The Red Devils continued to show their dominance just shy of 30 points at half-time. Shortly after, Lower Claras would make what would be their final breakthrough, Nathan Hollis crossing the line. But from there, it was a red rampage, Byron Bay rounding out the 58-16 victory. Alexandra Rees, NBN News.
Nearly 200 tiny sets of hooves have paraded through Tamworth's ALEC this weekend at the Independent Miniature Horse Registry Grand National Show. The 4-day competition drawing competitors from around the country for a variety of events.
I've done really well. I had a mare show yesterday as a little horse. She took out Supreme.
If they're no longer able to ride because of age or other disability factors, it's a great way to still stay in the equine family.
Miniature horse events are split between classes of 34, 38 and 42 inches tall. It was a day to forget for the Hunter Wildfires downed by Gordon at Chatswood. The Wildfires were on the scoreboard first, leading by 6 thanks to 2 penalty goals. Gordon then struck back, and once they started, the onslaught didn't stop. The Hunter side was unable to score in the second, losing 29-9. The Wildfires women had better luck, defeating Gordon 34-5. And that's your look at sport.
Nice one. Thank you, Soph. A few showers about today. We'll check your local weather details next with Lauren Kempe.
In this French bakery, can you see what's real and what's made from Lego?
Far out.
A Lego Masters blockbuster. Next on 9.
Andy, can't stop, Ashwin. Loan application time.
Applying for a loan isn't as hard as you think. With an easy online application, ANZ GoBiz is the loan without the groan. Search ANZ GoBiz.
And then they said,
no thanks.
That's right. Because no one should touch you in a way that you're not okay with, even our family or friends. If you're not sure, you can always talk to me.
Every conversation brings us closer to a world without child sexual abuse. Let's end child sexual abuse, one talk at a time. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
When I started looking up public liability lawyers and LHD lawyers were on there, they were a no-win, no-fee.
The money that we got award helped try to live a better life.
No win, no fee, LHD.
Tank World's been rethinking water for over 50 years. Extended sale now on. Grab your Aussie Tough tank today. 23 650 litre tank starting from just $25.95. Sale must end April 29th. Think Tank World. 1-800 68 69 70.
Move quick. You don't want to miss these great deals at 40 Winks.
Any size mattress is the price of a single right now at 40 Winks. Plus, earn double Qantas points. Hurry, limited time only. Exclusions and T's and C's apply.
In 2006, Cyclone Larry hit Cairns and Innisfail. I saw it firsthand. Trees were down, there's debris on the roads. Every single window shattered. Roofs had been peeled back. I hadn't seen the scale of devastation that I saw ever before. Even though they've experienced all this loss, they still wanted to welcome us into their home, to offer you a cup of tea. It just shows how resilient we are. No one expects that this will happen to them. It's happening more often, and it's happening in different parts of Australia, which is why we've created Help Nation, an initiative to help you understand the risks that you may be facing. The best thing we can do is to be prepared.
Well, didn't the overnight rain deliver the perfect conditions for a Sunday sleep-in? Eastern set rain gauges have been well and truly topped up this weekend, and no doubt the winter clothes are making a more regular appearance as well. The country's capital plummeted below zero early this morning for the first time this year, and we'll see the cooler weather continue this week, albeit with a little bit less rain. Tonight's weather shot by Charlotte Mikolitsis. There's still plenty flowing through Glenrock Conservation Area in Newcastle right now, after some decent rain east of the Divide in the last few days. In the last 24 hours, that was widespread throughout the southeast corner of the Sunshine State. Parts of New South Wales also copped heavy showers, with some towns registering triple-digit totals, but it's still remarkably dry across the rest of the continent. There's been a pretty solid onshore influence this weekend, winds wrapping around a very broad and stubborn high, feeding off warm ocean temperatures and ultimately producing heavy falls along the coast. However, these low-pressure troughs in the Coral Sea are finally starting to move further out as the high centres itself over Australia's southeast corner. So it'll be dry and mostly sunny for the majority of the nation tomorrow and for the days to follow. Nothing too unusual about tomorrow's top temperatures. Fairly typical April weather. High 20s to low 30s throughout the top end. A few degrees cooler further south, but with slightly more cloud cover. Showers continuing in Brisbane with a top of 24 in Sydney, down to a chilly 14 degrees overnight. Showers continuing throughout the northern rivers today, getting up to 24 at Evans Head, 20 at Casino, 25 at Ballina and 23 degrees the top there at Cape Byron. Southerly winds picking up briefly to around 20 kilometres an hour tomorrow afternoon, but calm for the majority of the rest of the day. The odd shower or two continuing throughout the region, but we should see a slight break in the rain for the days to follow. Similar daytime temperatures, getting up to 25 at Evans Head, 24 at Lismore and 24 at Murwillumbah there as well. Taking a look at coastal conditions for tomorrow, we have huge seas between 2.5 to 3 metres right along the coast and swell at around 2 metres with southeasterly winds up to 30 knots as well. High tide around 7 in the morning, the low around 20 past 1 in the afternoon. Sun to rise just after 6 and setting just before 5:30 p.m. Showers possible in the Tweed tomorrow and a top of 25 degrees. Easing on Tuesday, mostly fine with similar temperatures through to next weekend, but cooling down a little there from Sunday. Much the same in Ballina this week. A slight chance of a shower or two, but typical mid-autumn temperatures during the day and at night and remaining mostly dry. Lismore tomorrow topping out at 24 degrees, 25 the top there on Tuesday, heating up briefly into the high 20s on Thursday before a drop back down into the low 20s as cloud builds leading into next Sunday, and remaining fine in Grafton from around Tuesday through to at least next Sunday. Mid to high 20s the top, and high pressure will keep things largely dry and stable throughout the region. And checking out the surf along our coasts today, there were a few small waves rolling into Park Beach on the mid-north coast. We can expect these coastal conditions to turn far more dangerous tomorrow with southeasterly winds right along the coast from the mid-north coast up to the north coast. Also, seas will be fairly high, up to 3 metres in parts. So Jane, mostly sunny this week.
Oh, you've made the holiday makers happy with that. Thank you, Lauren. That is the NBN news for this Sunday night. There will be more news at 9:40, but for now, good night.
Previously,
USA!
the world's premier